Hello and welcome back to another episode of PB+J Movie Reviews. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Justin.
And we got back from seeing Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the sequel to Captain America, the First Avenger, or the sequel to the Avengers. It's pretty confusing.
So guys, just in case you haven't watched any of our videos before, just letting you know, spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this video.
Go watch another review that doesn't have spoilers. Alright, having said that, let us begin. Okay, here's a spoiler. This movie is phenomenal. I would have to say even better than the other Phase 2 Marvel movies.
Yeah, this was by far the best Phase 2 Marvel movie. They got everything right, I would have to say. So, hands up for Marvel. This is compared to Avengers, in my opinion. We'll get into that later.
It's comparable, almost as good. Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark Worlds were good movies, but they were riddled with disappointment.
Exactly. I just wanted to see more with it, and they kind of messed up with their whole implementation of comedy, I thought, for like Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Thor the Dark Movie, not the Dark Movie, it wasn't a very dark movie. Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3 had a massive amount of jokes to the point where it got goofy at times.
And superhero.
On Iron Man 3, the trailer promised something a little more serious and a little more grim than what we've been usually getting, but nope, it had to go to the ha-ha-ha goofy stuff. Still enjoyable. This movie, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, did everything right. I mean, everything.
I would go back to what you said. This was, I feel, in my opinion, a little bit more darker than what we're usually up to. More realistic, I guess.
Yeah, realistic's a little bit better than the word dark. My expectations for this movie, after Avengers, we got teased 2 other upcoming Phase 2 Marvel movies, and this was the #1 movie I was preparing for. And ironically enough, this is the movie that happens to be my, favorite of the Marvel Phase 2 movies.
This is a direct build-up / lead-up to Avengers 2 Age of Ultron for all you folks out there.
Okay, so the movie really starts off with Captain America after the Avengers, and he's still working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
And he's still finding his place in the modern world.
You know S.H.I.E.L.D., the agency that we all love to hate? He's working for it because he's a good old Boy Scout going to good old Boy Scout camp.
What else would he be doing, really?
Going out to war, but The movie starts out nice, like an espionage movie, a spy movie. It's a lot of fun. It really got me invested in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of action in this movie.
And again, it's a lot more realistic than, per se, Thor or any other movies like that. A lot of gunfighting, I would say martial arts. Pretty cool.
Yeah, for a superhero movie, it seemed a little more down to earth.
Yeah.
Unlike something as bizarre or strange, uncanny as Thor.
Yeah, this was a lot more easy to stomach, and you didn't have to expand your disbelief so much for this movie.
Mm-hmm. So, in the movie, Captain America, Steve Rogers' past from World War II comes to haunt him with Hydra. They were behind all these evil plots.
Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. are one in the same. Spoilers. They're
And
brother and sister.
The past of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes to haunt him as well, also going with Hydra. And it's cool how the evil doctor and, Red Skull's scientist, leading man, he was working for them.
And it's kind of interesting, kind of an off note, that it was true back after World War II, America did collect Nazi scientists to work for them, like Wernher von Braun, who created the space program. So, in a way, it was realistic in that sense.
I think it was a good twist how Hydra was kind of behind a lot of these things.
And you also get to see a lot of the beginnings of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would say, which is a good build-up to a possible show.
But there were so many things to like about this. First of all, the backstory was not boring. It was not just boring exposition. It was intriguing. I wanted to learn more, and we got to learn more.
They even had like flashbacks to World War II at some points.
Yeah. with Steve Rogers trying to fit into the big old modern world
And how
after the Avengers.
How his values of freedom and democracy for
It
everyone.
still lives on.
Yeah, even in this time of super surveillance on everyone, and as you will see in the movie, could lead to great death and destruction.
His spirit brings freedom and truth and justice to society.
And as my partner here, Brandon, is saying, that's presented in the film, but it's not, I don't want to say cheesy like the first movie and Avengers, I might even say, but he really grows as a character, and he still has those values, but he's much more, acquainted to the modern world and how to deal with things after this movie.
He's not like completely corny as you may think.
He's a good leader, captain figure. He even leads Nick Fury.
So as you could probably guess, Chris Evans as Steve Rogers kills it as usual.
Right.
He does an amazing job. Him as Captain America fighting, awesome, amazing, fantastic in every sense of the word.
The action scenes.
Acting is great.
Phenomenal. It was just so believable.
I like they implemented a new character, Falcon.
Yes, Falcon was great. Now I was a little disappointed that he didn't actually have wings.
Well, it's more realistic, as we said before.
Obviously. And I did like it how he was like a war veteran.
So they could relate and have a good friendship.
And I look forward to seeing more of Falcon, Marvel. So put him in more things.
Put him in the Avengers. I really hope they do. Black Widow.
Great. Phenomenal. The way they implemented her just made the story great.
First of all, as usual, she's a badass, like them all. And it's good to see her expand their relationship with her and Captain America. Not really too much romantically, maybe even just a friendship or good partnership.
She becomes, I think, more of a real person in this movie than, like, Avengers,
She has, I guess...
a more personal side, you see.
Yeah, everyone has a big role who's fighting here.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, it's probably the best we've ever seen him.
Yeah.
He does so much. There was this car scene where these police, or these phony fake police...
who work with Hydra.
were tackling him, and he had this high-tech car, and there's this high-speed chase. It was the coolest thing.
A gun, and he shoots the police.
Yes, let's just go into the action.
Yes.
Iron Man 3 was missing that action that we love so much.
Yeah.
It really was. That was a major flaw with it. Thor: The Dark World had action, but the story was a little weak.
the story was lacking.
The story here was so strong,
And the action.
so invested,
So.
everything's so right. Action packed.
It was so big.
But
And just
it balanced
great.
everything perfectly. It was such a phenomenal movie. I love Captain America working that shield, great. Falcon flying around with his high-tech wings,
That was
great.
amazing.
Black Widow in general, great.
Yeah.
Nick Fury
Nick
using his
Fury
car,
was great.
great.
And I liked all the high-tech toys, if I may say, air quotations, around toys they had. For example, you see Black Widow in the movie at one point. She pretends to be the Security Council representative, and she actually has this device that makes her look like
Yeah, that was sweet.
woman. So they have really cool
A little high-tech technology was
Yeah.
nice.
and they have 3 more helicarriers, like from Avengers. Awesome guys.
I love the Winter Soldier. He was
Yeah.
such a menacing villain.
He's such a great villain. For
Almost like
Captain
Bane.
America. He
Just-
was just great.
So threatening. At the beginning of the movie, he barely speaked, which I thought was really cool. He eventually started
And I
speaking.
liked with how they tied
He's
him
Bucky
into
Barnes. But I knew that from the comics, but
And-
still, for all you moviegoers, you didn't know that.
I really wonder what they're gonna do with him after that after credit scene. How
Where
is he going
he's
to?
on the run, and they're
Yeah.
searching for him. He's probably searching for his true self.
So what's going on with him?
And it's good to see that him and Steve were such good friends, and now they're enemies
And it
because
was
he's been
interesting
brainwashed.
how,
And he,
the Winter Soldier kind of helped create and control different events of the past century while Captain America was gone.
he's a ruthless killer, but he really can't help what he's done. He's being almost controlled. He's been brainwashed.
Yeah.
His strength is enhanced. His bionic arm. He is such a powerful, imposing threat.
I wouldn't want to
love
mess
him.
with him.
I love to hate him, just like Loki. Love to hate that guy. Alright, and we have another villain, a person who works in S.H.I.E.L.D., Alexander Pierce.
He's World Security Council leader.
He's very menacing, and not really the sense like he could beat you up,
but he's
in the sense that he could send people that could beat you up.
And he does.
He has everything, like, right in the bag. He is ready to take over the world. And he's not corny, he's not cheesy. He's not like Guy Pearce's character in Iron Man 3, where it's just like, what's your motivation? I don't really care. This guy, he's something.
You see his relationship with Nick Fury, how he relates to S.H.I.E.L.D., and you see that he can really destroy the world with a flick of a switch.
So, the characters, the villains, the heroes, amazing all the way throughout, and the acting.
Acting is very good.
Acting is some of the best we've probably seen in a Marvel movie.
Very believable. And
loved all of the characters, loved all of the roles. It's so hard to complain about this movie because you just really can't.
There's not
such
much
a story.
to complain about.
It's very interesting. This big thought coming up. You can't trust anyone here.
I know. I mean,
can I even trust Nick Fury? I don't know.
Who knows?
You realize in the movies, other Marvel movies, you get this feeling that Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D., they're just these people that are just hiding things. They're not really good. But in truth, they're good. Nick Fury wants to do good, but he's very secretive. And he's secretive because he can't trust people.
And
it's interesting.
See the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. breakdown.
You can't trust S.H.I.E.L.D., the people that were trying to protect you in the Avengers. It's just very interesting to think about.
And that goes along with, in case any of you nerds out there also watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., goes along with that as well.
Yeah, but this movie made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seem so mediocre and pathetic in comparison.
And spoilers, guys, S.H.I.E.L.D. is destroyed at the end of the movie.
Oh, boo-hoo. At least we still have Captain America.
It's interesting to think, because everyone knows there's going to be Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, so, what's going to go on between then? What is Nick Fury, what is the Avengers going to do? How is the world going to be protected?
So this movie, it gets you thinking about the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. The comedy was implemented well, unlike... it's not forced, a few jokes, but it had a serious tone. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted from a Marvel movie, just to try to get a serious tone. Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be a little more funny.
But
I approve of that.
To be expected for that.
This movie finally got something a little more serious and had just the right amount of comedy. It had a lot of action
and story.
A great story, great narrative, and the music. It wasn't as, memorable as Lord of the Rings. Well, it would be impossible.
It was very good for the movie.
But it's something that actually got me engaged. And if music gets me engaged into a movie, props to that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. I love this movie. Captain America is probably the coolest you've ever seen him. Not including just like in the Avengers. I love him.
And I think Captain America really needed this movie and this story to really develop his character.
Yeah, they really
and
needed
get him ready for Avengers 2 Age of Ultron and not be that corny democracy,
love him.
Guy with the best, strengths wins. Now you see he has thoughts. He's a real
feelings.
captain.
The past is coming back to haunt him, and he has to stop the corruption of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the help of his partners, Black Widow, Falcon, Nick Fury, Agent Hill, who was awesome, by the way, and so on and so forth, those other people.
But you really see him captain and take a leadership role, and I really hope to see that continue in Avengers Age of Ultron.
The movie actually had some touching scenes, surprisingly.
Yes.
Two things in particular. One, where he's with the old Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
His past love interest. That, really got to me. I almost wanted to cry. And she's like, you came back!
And I'm sorry you couldn't live your life. That was pretty emotional.
Yes, and the death of Nick Fury, supposed death, because he kind of gets revived.
Here, guys.
You don't kill Nick Fury. He was so awesome in this movie.
But
so awesome.
Spoilers again. If you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Phil's alive. They can't just kill Nick Fury off. Let's just put it that way.
And Nick Fury he's a-okay. He works out in the end, still doing his badass usual stuff.
And even Captain America at some point, when you really think he's almost done with it.
Yeah, there's a big threat.
What, like 3 times in the stomach? And
yeah, he lives on.
He lives on. So does the Winter Soldier.
But the Winter Soldier is such a huge threat. I would even say, as a threat, better than Loki. Loki, though he's
better than Malekith.
Such a great villain. Malekith is the worst Marvel villain you'll ever see in Marvel movies.
Better than Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. I even forget his. I can't remember his name. I know the comics, but I just don't remember his actual name. He's that irrelevant.
The guy who makes people explode.
But he's so menacing. I would not want to come up against him.
And you could see, like,
even if I was a Hulk, I would think twice about fighting him.
Was, about to get destroyed.
The stakes were so high, and it didn't have to be in the Avengers level high, but still, just as a single independent movie that's not the Avengers, it did so much right, and I praise it to death.
In Phase 2, and I hope Marvel learns from this, and I hope in Phase 3 we see a lot more movies like this.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm really excited for the Captain America 3rd movie.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to make a 3rd movie. I hope so. Fingers crossed, even toes crossed. I'm that excited.
Yeah. After this,
it is.
They're gonna have
I love the first Captain America movie. I would even go as far as saying that this is better. It doesn't have the World War II good charm of the first movie. It's a whole different ballpark, and it is better.
And I think
great story, great action, great humor.
Marvel did that right. They definitely stepped away from that World War II charm, but they really created their own new great story.
The one
and have its own charm.
When the Shield, and they had Captain America as the leading role, and let me tell you, it is great.
Is there any negatives you could think of?
I'm sorry, guys. I can't think of a negative.
Right now, I can't think of any.
I'm trying. I don't want to think of negatives, but I seriously can't think of a negative because it was just that great of a movie.
Well,
wow.
For all you guys out there who are watching this, or girls, anyone really, if there are negatives in your opinions, please leave them in the comments.
But I really don't think there are, so probably no comments for us.
Yeah.
Okay, just quickly, 2 things, minor things. We already gave our summary of the movie, so. The Stan Lee cameo was hilarious.
Wow, yeah, great.
Where they steal Captain America's original uniform in a museum. He's like, and he works at the museum.
Totally gonna get fired.
He's like, I'm totally gonna get fired. And then, Fagaline! Okay, so Fagaline is a character in real life. He's in World War II. He's a general for Hitler.
Fagaline. Yep.
And so, there's this movie called Downfall with Hitler and the people that work with him in the bunker.
On YouTube.
It's become a cult classic.
Yes.
And Fagaline, they make parodies on the internet where they put they put subtitles on the characters, so it'll make Hitler say stupid things like he could be talking about the Xbox, though he'd probably be talking about the Russians, but he's talking about the Xbox because, the subtitles. And they always make Fagaline cause antics and drive Hitler insane. Fagaline, the actor plays him, Thomas something German and hard to pronounce, is in this. He's in the after credits scene.
I mean, he's not Fagaline, he's
Baron. And it sets up Baron von whatever. And Baron's your dog's name, by the way. So it leads up to it leads up to the Avengers, and it has Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but I don't think they'll be referred to as that, but that's who they are.
Talk about the twins.
The twins.
Miracles.
So, I am so pleased with this movie. Every little detail they did, they nailed everything right.
Marvel, 5 stars out of 5 stars for this movie. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing it right.
100%, A++, check plus, 5 out of 5. Go see it. It is one of the best Marvel movies out there. I'm not joking around.
If you haven't seen Iron Man 3 or Thor: The Dark World,
check it out, but
See
you
this
really have to
5
see
times
this.
over.
Right, so we're going. Sayonara.
No.